If you've ever tried to figure out whether an INFJ likes you, you already know. It's not obvious. INFJs don't fall in love loudly. They fall in love softly, quietly, and with a depth that almost scares them. And when they're secretly in love, their heart speaks in whispers, and you only notice if you're paying attention. How INFJs notice someone first. For an INFJ, falling in love never begins on the surface. It doesn't start with looks or charm or a perfect first impression. It starts somewhere quieter, deeper, almost invisible. INFJs notice people with their intuition, not their eyes. They sense your emotional atmosphere, the softness behind your smile, the sincerity in your voice, the way your energy shifts when you talk about something that matters. They feel people more than they see them, and when someone resonates with them, truly resonates, it hits them like a subtle spark they can't explain. They notice your patterns, not in a creepy way, in a deeply attentive way. They notice the way you pause before answering, the hint of frustration you hide behind a smile, the way your eyes brighten when you talk about something you love, the way you treat people who can't offer you anything. INFJs aren't drawn to perfection. They're drawn to your inner world. They feel connected to you before they know why. INFJs often feel something before they understand it. A warmth, a curiosity, an emotional pull they can't put into words yet. They might not even know your favorite color, but they already feel a quiet familiarity that makes them want to understand you. It's almost like recognizing a soul they've met in another life. Soft, instant, undeniable. They watch from a distance at first, not because they're shy, but because they're cautious, selective, intentional. INFJs don't fall for everyone. They are drawn to a rare emotional frequency, integrity, kindness, depth, authenticity. So at first, they observe. Quietly, gently, deeply, they want to understand who you are when you think no one is paying attention. You linger in their thoughts. INFJs don't just notice you in the moment. They think about you afterward. They replay small conversations to understand the meaning behind your words. They think about your dreams, your hurts, your hidden strengths, not obsessively, but with a soft curiosity that grows into something deeper each time they reflect on you. Your emotional world captures them, more than your looks, more than your achievements, more than anything external. INFJs fall for the way you feel, your emotional honesty, your gentleness, your intelligence, your empathy, your sincerity. INFJs don't chase butterflies. They chase emotional truth, and when they sense that truth in you, they feel it instantly, like a quiet yes in their soul. INFJs don't fall in love fast, but they notice the people who matter long before anyone else realizes it. And once something about you awakens their intuition, you become someone they can't ignore, no matter how hard they try. How INFJs hide their feelings. INFJs don't hide their feelings because they're secretive. They hide them because loving someone awakens a level of vulnerability they're not sure they're ready to hold. Their heart doesn't whisper, it floods, and that intensity makes them cautious, quiet, and incredibly protective of their emotions. Their feelings grow faster than they can process. INFJs rarely have small crushes. The moment someone touches their intuition and their heart at the same time, the feeling is strong, immediate, almost overwhelming. But instead of showing it, they retreat inward, trying to understand the connection before they dare to act on it. Inside, they're thinking, why do I feel this strongly? Does this mean something? Is this real? Am I imagining it? So they go quiet, not because they don't care, but because they're trying to make sense of every emotion at once. They become overly careful with their words. INFJs are usually warm, expressive conversationalists, but around someone they secretly love, their language changes. They speak softer, more thoughtfully, more controlled. They fear saying something too vulnerable too soon. They fear revealing too much of their heart. They fear you'll notice their feelings before they're ready to admit them. So every word is chosen like they're defusing a bomb. 3. They appear calm on the outside, but inside they're glowing. INFJs almost never show visible excitement around someone they like. Not because they're indifferent, but because the emotion is so strong they feel like they need to contain it. Their smiles are subtle, their faces remain gentle. But if you look closely, you'll notice a softness that wasn't there before. A light in their eyes, a warmth in their tone. That calmness isn't distance, it's self-preservation. They downplay their interests to protect the connection. INFJs will act like everything is normal, even when their heart is anything but. They'll say things like, "Oh, I just admire them," or "I'm just being friendly," even when they're falling deeply. They do this because they fear ruining the natural flow of a connection they value. INFJAS would rather suffer in silence than push too hard and lose you. They hide affection inside small, thoughtful actions. INFJs might not confess, but they express love through subtle care. A soft check-in message, remembering things you said once, giving gentle advice, making sure you're comfortable, offering emotional support without being asked. These tiny gestures are their secret language, their hidden tenderness, their quiet way of saying, "You matter to me more than I'm ready to admit." They distance themselves when their feelings get overwhelming. This is the INFJ contradiction. The deeper their feelings grow, the more they sometimes pull back, not because they're losing interest, but because they need space to understand their emotions and regain their emotional balance. They retreat to analyze the connection, to calm their heart, to figure out whether this love is safe or whether they're about to get hurt. They fear being too much, for you INFJs love intensely, quietly, but intensely, and they're terrified that the depth of their emotion might scare you away. So they regulate their affection, they hide their longing, they act more detached than they truly are. Inside they're hoping, quietly, desperately, that you'll give them just enough reassurance to let their guard fall. Their intuition tries to predict your feelings before they reveal theirs. INFJs will analyze every interaction, every tone shift, every micro-expression, trying to understand whether you feel the same. They want emotional certainty before emotional vulnerability. So they watch and they wait, they interpret, they hope, all in silence. INFJs don't hide their feelings to protect their pride. They hide them to protect their heart. Because when an INFJ loves, they love with a depth that deserves to be handled gently. How INFJs try to get closer without revealing it. INFJs won't flirt directly, but they will gravitate toward you, not loudly, not obviously, just consistently. They ask thoughtful questions. They check in on your emotional world. They open conversations with subtle depth. They offer gentle encouragement. They mirror your energy to build trust. Most people think INFJs are simply warm, caring people, and they are. But when they're secretly in love, they become even more attuned, more present, more emotionally connected. They listen to you like your words are stars that they're trying to map, and they remember everything. The INFJ soft spot phase. Once an INFJ starts falling for you, something shifts, quietly but unmistakably. Their tone softens, their eyes warm, their guard lowers. They smile more easily around you. They open up about their private thoughts. They share their worries and hopes. They show vulnerability. Just a little INFJs don't let many people into their inner world. So if they let you in, it means you matter, a lot more than they'll admit. How INFJs show affection without saying it. INFJs express love through presence, not performance. They create emotional safety. They sense your moods instantly. They offer comfort before you ask. They support your dreams like they're their own. They give thoughtful, meaningful acts of care. They won't shower you with big romantic gestures. Instead, they'll be the person who texts you when you're quiet to make sure you're okay, notices you're tired and brings you something warm, listens deeply when you need to vent, encourages your growth even when you doubt yourself. Their love is gentle, steady, and soul-focused. How INFJs act. When they're falling hard, when an INFJ falls deeply in love, their entire emotional world opens, but only for you. Their voice gets softer, their walls lower, and their intuition becomes laser focused on your needs. But here's the biggest sign. They let you see the parts of themselves they hide from everyone else. Their fears, their flaws, their insecurities, their past wounds. For an INFJ, vulnerability is the ultimate act of commitment. If they show you their real self, they're not kinda interested. They're in deep. When an INFJ finally confesses, INFJs don't confess impulsively. They confess intentionally, after observing, reflecting, and imagining the future. When they finally speak their truth, it won't be dramatic. It won't be poetic. It will be honest, vulnerable, warm. Something like, "I care about you," more deeply than you probably realize. Because by the time an INFJ opens their heart, they're already loving you quietly, deeply, and completely. If this felt a little too real, you're definitely not alone. And if you want more videos about your type, make sure you subscribe to Official Personality Guru.